and Lois, episode 14, right before the season finale, World's War Bazaar. And it's your boy Icon with a little DC TV, cause we's back, baby, with Soups and Low. So, here we go. Now, yeah, so Superman doesn't have his power. In the previous episode, because we took a break, Superman had got his power drained by Allie Alston, and now Allie's in the vortex between both worlds, trying to pull them both together. Superman just woke up from the hospital, and he doesn't have his power, and I'm so, the actor Tom Hecklin, he did a very awesome job of looking very pathetic. It's almost like, it's like now he really is Clark Kent. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's just walking around. He's all like feeble, and he's like, I don't have power, and I'm all weak and sad and everything. And then like his kids and everybody looking at him, and they're just like, what are we gonna do now? That dad's incapacitated. And then like Lois and John Henry Irons said, he's like, everyone else is gonna have to step up. Clark is doing the woe is me routine, where he's just like, oh, the world needs me and I'm taking a sick day. I'm Superman. I'm supposed to protect people. I'm supposed to save people. And then he said the line that actually made me want to jump through the TV. He goes, if I don't have my powers, he said, who's going to be here to protect the world? And I'm like, Jesus Christ, there's a Justice League. Like, there's an entire Justice League. I mean, I read in a report somewhere that in the season finale, the general, he's gonna make a speech talking about the Arrowverse and Superman and Lois's place in the Arrowverse, whatever. I feel like they need to say something along the lines of, when you guys formed your little Justice League, we made an agreement that each individual hero would stay and protect their own city, and Superman would be the person in charge of protecting the world as a whole, which is why they never go to anybody else unless it's like 100% like dire important. Like, it's something on the lines needs to be said, because if they don't say anything in regards to that, in regards of like, if they don't mention why the other heroes are never called, it's just going to make everybody else look really stupid. And like I said, I'm tired of them shitting on Supergirl. But like I said, we'll see what happens, because that's a conversation for next week. So then they're talking to the black people. The Irons family is back. And, they're the only ones that are capable now of figuring out, what's going on with Allie. And both Natalie and John, they come up with the whole thing where they saying like, we got to go find Allie, and then we got to, do readings and, take pictures and stuff and try to find out the energy source and where the source is coming from. The red sun from the bizarre world popped up in the sky. And when the sun popped up in the sky, it was actually a square red sun, because the merger is starting to happen and now people can see it. John and Natalie, they fly up to the atmosphere, they take readings of the sun, and then they find out that, yes, Allie's pulling the worlds together, but we need to find her. While they're having a conversation, Superman goes to the Irons family, and he asks John if he's like, yo, can you take me to the Fortress of Solitude? Because Jordan was acting like a bitch, and he didn't want to take him. So John Henry Irons takes him to the Fortress of Solitude. Well, no, he took him to Tal-Rho's Fortress of Solitude. Where's Tal-Rho? Like, what happened? Like, Tal-Rho dipped like 2 episodes ago, and he ain't been back since. Like, can we put an APB out on Tal-Rho? He's talking to his mama, and then his mom basically told him, she was like, no, your cells have been damaged, son. And she said, until your cells are repaired, she's like, you won't be able to absorb the sun's power. And he said that it took him 4 years to actually start getting powers, before. And then he was just like, there's no telling how long it could take now. So as they're flying back to Smallville, Lana Rowe ends up showing up, and then she attacks the Kent family, because again, she's going after Clark, and then she's going after the boys. Jordan tried to fight her off, which did not go so well. Jonathan clearly can't do anything because he has no power, and all Lois can do is just scream everyone's name in intense fear. But then, well, no, actually Lois wasn't there. Like, her screaming in intense fear came later. But then Natalie and John showed up, and then when the two of them showed up, like, Lana Rowe just dipped. She didn't even try to fight him. And then when she dipped, then we were just like, okay, where's she going? So then after that, now Jordan's feeling some kind of way, because he was like, yo, I got my ass beat. And he said, I'm the only person with powers aside from the Irons family. And he said, it's supposed to be my job to protect the family now, and I can't even protect the family because I just got my ass beat. Jonathan does the whole, well, at least you have powers, and at least you're able to do something. I'm like, bro, this ain't about you right now. This isn't about you. Stop being a bitch. So So then after that, the Irons family came up with a way to try to stop Allie. So they decided that they were going to go into the vortex and they were going to try to defeat her. Before they went into the vortex, because they got their suits ready and they got like their chemicals, and they put stuff on the suit to protect from the blast and all this other stuff. And then right before they were about to go into the vortex to go confront Allie Alston, because Clark had said she's in the void between both worlds. That's when John Henry Irons had put a timer. And this was very smart because up until this point, Natalie has been getting the best of John Henry Irons. She's been duping him and tricking him to get in her way. But old daddy still got some tricks up his sleeve. He put a lock timer on her suit and said that the timer wasn't going to go off for another 10. He said the timer is set for 10 minutes. You won't be able to use your suit for 10 whole minutes because he's like, I don't want you following me when I go into this vortex. And then she was just like, oh, you can't do this to me. We're supposed to be a team. And he hit her with the perfect dad line because obviously, he doesn't want her to go in there because he doesn't want her to get hurt. But he can't actually say that because then she'll feel some kind of way and she'll be like, oh, you don't believe in me. What he said was, he said, I'm going to go in there, I'm going to confront Allie, and I'm going to take her down. I need you to stay here, and I'm giving you the hammer. He's like, I need you to stay here because if things don't go our way, he's like, if things don't go my way, and if I fail, you need to be here to protect the world and protect the Kent family. And when you put it like that, she's just like, well, shit. Like, I can't really say anything about that. So he's like, gotcha. You know what I'm saying? Like, he finally got her. And then he jumped in the suit, and then he took off to go fight Allie. He fights Allie. He blasted Allie. Allie just, like, shoot him away. And then John flew, like, 80 feet back. Natalie was on comms, and now she's collectively losing her shit because her dad's not answering the comms, and she doesn't know what to do. Lois and Chrissy go talk to Lana, and then Chrissy acting weird for some reason. Like, she's like, this is not the same Chrissy from like season 1 or even beginning of season 2. Like, she's different somehow. Like, her attitude is just different. Like, she seemed to have like more confidence to the point where she's no longer in awe of Lois Lane. She's more like, bitch, we need to report the news and I need you to get on board. So they confront Mayor Lang, and then when they confront Lana, they tell her the truth. They tell her everything that's happening with Allie and with the whole merger. Lana's like, what the hell am I supposed to do with that information? And then Lois is just like, well, you're the mayor. Now that I've given you the information, it's up to you to decide what you want to do with it. So this chick, she ends up, it's weird. Like, it's like, what Lana did made sense, but it was dumb at the same time because she called a town meeting where she got everyone in town at the town hall, and she's basically going to tell them the truth. The general was against her telling everybody because he's like, listen, we don't want to incite a panic. But saying you don't want to incite a panic, that's implying they're going to believe the horse shit that comes out of this woman's mouth. And I knew it was a bad idea from the beginning to tell the town, not because of a panic, but because of how ridiculous it's going to sound, and nobody's going to believe her. So she brings all these people together. She brings the entire town in the town hall. She starts telling them, like, yes, everybody, there's a red sun because there's a powerful being named Allie Alston that's pulling two worlds together, and there's doppelgangers that are going to try to murder. And as she's saying this, like, she's saying this out loud to people. And as she's saying this, I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, this sounds ridiculous. I was like, nobody's gonna believe you. And they didn't. The town was in an uproar. The former mayor, was on his bullshit because he was trying to basically, like, serve his own agenda or whatever. And everybody was like turning against Lana, and they were just like, oh, you're not equipped to handle this, and you can't do this. And then, before all that happened, when Clark was talking to Lois about, like, oh, people need Superman, and then she was like, that's when Lana was like, no, people don't need Superman to save them. And she said, people need Superman for hope. She said, you inspire hope. So the way because he was just like, how do I get to be Superman? She said that the way you continue to get to be Superman, it's not by flying around, it's by instilling hope into the people. So just as they were about to throw tomatoes at Lana Lang, Clark shows up as Superman in the Superman costume, and he talks to the people and gives them the Superman hope speech about how the town is strong and you guys can protect yourself, and like, it's up to you, and I believe in you because I'm Superman. And then Jordan and Jonathan, they go over to Sarah, and they talk to Sarah, and then Jordan's just like, hey, Sarah, are you okay? And then she's just like, not really. She's like, it's fucking Superman. And sometimes I have to remember the town of Smallville has never actually seen Superman. Sarah has never actually seen Superman. Like, Sarah's dad, he's never seen Superman before. Like, this is a big deal to these people. They're like, everybody was like, holy shit, it's fucking Superman. But you have to remember sometimes that they've never seen him. Like, Superman's still like this mystical creature to them. So then, so he talks to the townspeople, He gets them on Lana's side. Lana tells everybody, go home, be with your family. So everybody goes home. Sarah was in the hallway talking to Jordan. And then because Jordan had let her know, my family, my mom's been dealing with Superman. My mom's been going back and forth with the DEO, and they've been talking to your mom. And then she's like, wait, so you guys know about this whole thing? And then he was like, yeah. And then she was like, wait, so that was the secret? And he was like, half the secret. There's more to it than that. And then, just as he was about to, reveal the beans, that's when like Lana showed up and she was like, come on, Sarah, honey. She's like, we have to go. But then right before she pulled her away, because when Lana Rowe had dipped after the Irons family showed up, she went to prison to go break out Bizarro Jonathan, and Bizarro Jonathan and Lana came to the high school. While they were in the high school, that's when Sarah had saw the doppelganger version of her mom, which freaked her out. And then Lana grabbed Sarah and she dipped. And it's surprising that like Bizarro Lana never reacts to like Sarah or the fact that, her doppelganger has children. And I wonder if her and Tal Rowe on Bizarre World, I wonder if they actually have kids, because she doesn't seem phased by the children at all, which was kind of weird to me. But anyway, so then like she's fighting Jordan now, and now Jordan, like he's a little tougher now because he's like, I have to protect Sarah and I have to protect my family. Bizarro Jonathan shows up, and then of course regular Jonathan, he can't do nothing. The general can't do nothing. Lois can't do nothing other than just scream Clark's name and everything. Superman tried to fight Jonathan, but he ain't got no power, so he got his ass beat. And then Jordan and Lana Rowe, they ended up in the same room. So then Lana Rowe and Bizarro Jonathan, they're tag teaming on Jordan, beating his ass. Like Lois is still screaming his name in the corner. And then while he's getting his ass beat, that's when Natalie's AI said, oh, Natalie, she's like, the 10 minutes has expired on your costume. She was like, however, she was like, your daddy, he's trapped in the vortex somewhere. But there's a powerful being. There's two powerful beings at the high school, and they're destroying Jonathan Kent. So now Natalie has a choice that she has to make. Do you go save the Kent family like your daddy told you to do, or do you fly into the vortex to try to find and save your daddy? She makes the right decision, and she goes and helps out the Kent family. Her and Jonathan end up tag teaming on him. They did some cool moves together with the hammer and everything. That's why he left the hammer behind. They defeated Lana Rowe. They defeated Jonathan Kent. They're in the custody of the DOA, and then they took them back off to prison. So now after that, they were just, everybody was okay. They were talking to everybody. They would make sure everybody was cool. Then everybody was like, what happened to Natalie? Natalie dipped. And then they went back to the Kent farm, and they found Natalie in the Kent farm, which was the one place she didn't want to be from the beginning of the season. And she was just like, once she's like, when I realized my dad was gone, she was like, I didn't want to be here at first, but now this is the only place I feel I need to be. Her and Lois finally touched each other, finally had a conversation with each other, because like when Lois hugged Natalie, I wanted to care about that scene, but it was hard to care about that scene when we're up to episode 14, and the last time the two of you had a conversation together was episode 1. And I need more of a dynamic between Lois and Natalie, because that was the whole big thing at the end of season 1, was Natalie and Lois's like dynamic. And like I said, the two of them have not had one conversation outside of episode 1 this whole season. But then like she's hugging her in tears and everything, because that's supposed to be like her doppelganger mama. So I just need a little bit. I need a little bit more from the two of them. And then after that, then like the Kent family didn't know what to do. They were just sitting there watching Natalie cry. So then we go back to like the Cortez family, or the Cushing family, whatever we're calling it. And it's weird. It's like it's Cortez, it's Cushing, but her last name is still Lang. And I'm like, that's crazy. Anyway, so they're talking to the Lang, Cortez, Cushing family, and then that's when Sarah had figured it out, because she told her mom, she was like, yo, you knew everything. She said, you knew that Jordan had powers. You knew when Jordan had powers. You were going to tell me Jordan had powers, and then you changed your mind at the last second. And then that's when she was just like, Sarah, now's not the time. And she was like, you should have told me, Mom. You should have told me. She's like, it would have made a difference. I broke up with Jordan. And I'm like, well, I tell you to do that. But, and then she gets mad and like storms away. Lana chases after her. And then she's like, look here. She's like, the secret that it's important, and you need to keep that secret to protect life. At this point, just tell Sarah that, Clark is Superman. Like, I feel like as of this moment right now, Sarah needs to know that Clark Kent is Superman, and for the love of God, Chrissy needs to know that Clark Kent is Superman, because I'm tired of Lois trying to lie to Chrissy about all this stuff because it ain't working. But then while she was telling her that, that's when the merger started happening, where both worlds started to collide. The dad, why do I keep forgetting the dad's name? The dad of the Cortez Cushing family, Kyle, that's his name, Kyle. Kyle disappeared, so he's already on Bizarre World. The house started turning into like different things, like round cups started turning square, and then back back at the Kent farm, you know, like the Kent, their Kent farm started turning into the Bizarro Kent farm, and then it shows Allie like pulling both worlds together, and they said they got less than 12 hours before she pulls the world together, and it looks like Allie's about to win. Superman ain't got no power. John Henry Irons is trapped in the Phantom Zone, or I mean, he's trapped in the vortex or whatever, and we're waiting to see what happens because apparently there are no other heroes on this planet, and we don't know what to do. That was it, and thank you for tuning in. So, very good episode of Superman and Lois. I do have to say, one more episode left, and that sucks because I like the show. Like, the show is the ish. It's it's actually the best superhero TV show out right now, like point blank, period. And I'm definitely like, John Diggle is supposed to show up next week in the season finale, and I don't care because you threw away the power, damn it. Like, you threw away the ring, and I will never forgive you for throwing away the power. John Diggle, I'm still mad at that. But John can be redeemed if him coming to Smallville has something to do with the larger picture of bringing in the other heroes, or at least mentioning the other heroes. And for the love of God, I hope there's a situation where Diggle's family is in trouble, they're gonna die, and then that's when the box shows back up to John Diggle and says, well, how about the powers now? So we'll see what happens next week and where things go from here. Do we save Bizarro World? Do we destroy Bizarro World? Everything in between. What happens to John Henry Irons, who's still there in the vortex, like he just hasn't woken up yet, and what Natalie does and how everything comes together in the season finale. Lucy should be there in the season finale as well, you know, because like she does have something to do with this, so she should be present when everything unfolds. And we'll also see what happens with Sarah when she finds out Jordan's secret, or what happens, because I don't think it's going to be as simple as her and Jordan just getting back together. There's going to be a wedge that comes between them or whatever. But like I said, we'll see. Share your questions, your comments, and or concerns down below so we can talk about it. Hit me up on Twitter and or Instagram. Hit the notification bell so you will be notified when my other videos pop up, because like I said, I got The Flash on the channel coming up. I got Miss Marvel coming up. So we're reviewing these 3 shows for now until Superman and Lois and The Flash ends. Then we'll continue to do Miss Marvel until Doom Patrol shows up on HBO Max. Thanks for tuning in, guys. So as always, check me out on YouTube, like and or subscribe, and up and away as always. One more time, second to last episode. I'll see you next week. And until then, I'm out this. Bye.